This is Justin, Thursday, October 13th, 2022, and all I can say is wow. We gapped way down here after 5 bear days, and it was a retracement. So we ran down at first and then ran back up and then closed the day like that. So it was a fade kind of day. Um, totally should have been expecting a gap way down here would have gone back up at least to there, to retest or at least into something, maybe into the line. But yeah, it just kept going and going and going and going. So we opened up right here in this purple line. I know the daily chart doesn't look like it. Let me step back out. So yeah, that purple line, which was one of the earlier ones that we've had in here. So it was this line off of this high that we cut through, and then we ran into or almost into. So it's that one, that purple line. We kind of did the opposite of this day where we ran through, double topped, and closed pretty much on it. Today we pretty much opened on it, kind of did a double bottom thing if you squint, um, and didn't go lower. We crushed through it, crossed through it, continued sideways a bit, just kept making higher highs and higher lows. This was the close of yesterday, ran right through that. Actually, once we pushed past that, we really ran, almost tagged this purple line. It's like, are we going to roll over now? Nope. Even put in a double top here. And then I was really watching this right here. It's like, okay, this looks like a beauteous 10 EMA. We had bullish candle close below the 10, bullish candle close below the 10, bullish candle on the 10, on the 10, on the 10. It's like, if we get a nice bear candle here, we should just go. Nope, didn't happen. We kept going higher, but it was just a great double top with a hammer. It's like, okay, short it, right? Like, go down. Nope, didn't do that. It kept going higher. We pushed through this purple line, retested it. So we basically retested that high, which lined up really well with the purple line, and just kept running. Um, huge day. I don't even remember the range on the day. The range was almost 200 points. This is what's crazy. Some of the options, like the ones that open pre-market, so there was news at 7:30, crushed any premium. The option opened up at 0.05, like $5. You could have just bought one of these for five, but you didn't know it was going to have this kind of run. And this is the 3650. I mean, I didn't wish I had. Next time, I think I will. This one opened up, had a low of 30, opened up at $75. Still $75 turning into $7,500 by the end of the day. Above that. Gosh, it's just crazy. 3550 call. This one opened up at 620, had a low of 325. That one turned into 1300. No, is that 1300? No, is that 13,000? $300 into $13,000. Yeah, so that happened today. But how would you have known? Like, I don't have a good answer. I'm still trying to figure out. Like, this one, here we go. This one's low was $1. Maybe if you had an order open for 35.75 on the second 3-minute candle of the day, like on this candle, the low. So this candle comes in, and then this candle puts in a low of $1. And the strike that you are using is the one way back up here, back up at the close of yesterday, basically. That didn't even cross my mind to just, oh, let me just buy a call here and see what, and hold it through the end of the day. This one 100x'd. You could have bought maybe for $1, maybe it would have filled and turned into, so buy for $100 turns into $10,000. Like, this is the kind of stuff that boggles my mind that options can do. And the opposite happened with puts. They start like this put, the 3650, started out at, so I'm just moving decimal place. So this started out at $15,000. By the end of the day, it was zero. $5 here, zero. Like, you just buy one of these at open for 15,000 and it goes to zero by the end of the day. Like that's a bad day. This, it's like, oh, this would have been great. I don't know how to tell a difference other than looking at the daily, and it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had the rest in here. We had a gap here. So much selling, so much bearishness, so much bearishness here. What's going to happen after we sell down for 5 days and we gap down even lower? Maybe we'll fade. Like that's, if it's a 50-50 possibility, maybe we'll sell down, maybe we'll fade. It seems like an easier trade to just buy a call and hold on to it for a while. Like we've done this before. That's what's crazy. We've done this before. Like here we go. Back in February, 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. Gap down, made a new low below this low. Gap down. Looks like we traded down a little bit, lower wick, and then got bought back up into the range of this day, but at least bought back up quite a bit. Like I'm going to go back and look at this day. I'm going to go back and look at other day. Like I got to go through and use the what is it, the on demand here, and look at the option prices. Like, okay, 4 bear days in a row, we gap down. What's the option price doing back at that close? Is that an option I would have gotten into as, you know, here's an R, let's see what happens kind of thing. And even, whoa, that's not how far in I wanted to zoom. Even through here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we gapped down a little bit, traded down some more, came back up. So like, you know, and then we did, I remember there was this, I'm having zooming issue. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 days, gap down inside of the lower wick, traded down some more. And then this, you know, so that was the 5th one. And then the 6th day here, it gapped up. So gapped way up and then turned into a bear candle still. So there's still more selling in. And it's like, okay, 6 days in a row. And then we open pretty flat. So it's like, it's got to be the kind of setup where it's like 4, 5, 6 bear candles and a big gap down. Maybe that'll turn into a big bull candle. Like that's what I'm going to look for. And see if they trade the same. Like, let's see if there's one back over here. Okay, here's a bunch of bear candles. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that open flat. Okay, let me see if there's one that opened big and see if we can count to get there. Back in, so here we go. So here's 2 huge candles open really much further down. 2 of them that opened way down and then traded way back up. Like, okay, maybe it's because it crossed this moving average. Maybe that helped. Maybe it's because the previous day was huge and then it still gapped down. I don't know. Let's just focus on maybe, you know, having 4 bear candles in a row that are, you know, moving a pretty good percentage. Maybe it's something like that. So I don't know what the criteria is for that. All I know is, man, that was a big move up, and I wish I had just thought, oh, let me just throw $5 at this call and see what happens. Here's one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. See, even the 5th day down, that was a gap down. It traded up a little bit and then sold off. Here's another one, gap down, sold off, and came back up. That was no, that was one I just said for February. Now I'm second guessing myself. That was February 2020. That wasn't this last one, February 11th. February just talked about. Now I'm losing my place. February, that was this one. This was different. Big bear candle here. This was this February. Actually, it's kind of funny that 2 Februarys 2 years apart did that, right? Well, that was February 2020. So that was COVID stuff. So yeah, that was in here. Who knows? So anyway, I've got more to dig into to figure this out, to learn this, but click the link in the description if you want to learn more from an expert who, my friend Jeremy, he really knows this stuff really well, looking at the charts, looking at what's happened in the past, and just kind of trade it the same sort of way, you know? Let me see, how far back are we? I want to go back. I don't think I can go back as far as I want to right now. I'm going to set my chart different because he went back to something in 2008, I think. He was looking at something earlier, and I can't go back to 2008 right now. I'm not sure why. I can only go back like a decade right now. I'm not sure why that is. So I'll figure that out. I don't have a good setup of anything with options. With, you know, it's just looking at these huge moves and how flat the calls were for the first like hour and a half of the day, and then they started picking up. It's just like, okay, even if I was in something like, you know, a little bit earlier and got a couple R, I would still feel bad I missed this, but I'd be happy. It's like, oh, I still made something bullish. It wasn't even like that. Today was just go up, 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 And then anytime it looked like it was going to reverse, it pulled back a little, but it just pulled back into, prior low. So like this green line, we ran up into this, kept coming down. Like we were bumping our heads into this. Finally, we broke through, and then we retested just about into it. So like these green and purple lines were just really helpful to just line up. Okay, where could we pull back to like later? I wish we pulled back down into this purple line here on this angle, but we did almost pull back into the opening high there. I had a bunch of the fibs on here on my chart earlier, and I got rid of them. But I had the fibs with this move from here to here, and then I expanded that, and there was some confluence with some different levels down here, like a 200% move down here, and then going back up like another, basically from here to here, here to here, like another 150% move back up. Like it was actually lining up pretty well with some of these levels. So draw some fibs just like I did yesterday, put them on here. I'm not going to redraw a bunch of those right now because I already got rid of them. So, but I've got a print out of that. I've got things to mark up with that. Yeah, we'll see if we have some more sustained bullishness coming in tomorrow. We'll see, and then we can take a look at what the weekly candle looks like on this. You know, weekly is really, really interesting too. So we'll get into that for Friday video. All right, hope this helps. This is Justin. Thanks.